Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Rama, and in today's video, we are going to be comparing two of the most profitable businesses in Grand Theft Auto Online. The Kosatka, which is mainly known for the Cayo Perico heist, and the Agency, which has a numerous amount of ways to make money, ranging from payphone hits to the Dr. Dre VIP contract, to normal contracts, passive income, and yeah, there's just a lot of ways to make money with the Agency, let's be real. But does that make it a better business? In today's video, I'll not only be sharing which of the two businesses I think is a better investment to purchase first, but as well which of the two I think is better in terms of overall money making. So let's get straight into it. Let's start off with the price tags of these two properties, which are actually very close to each other. Buying the Kosatka is going to set you back $2.2 million without any of the upgrades, and buying the Agency is going to set you back $2 million at cheapest and $2.8 million at the most expensive property. Personally, I just think you should buy the $2 million property. It's a solid location right in the center of the city. So yeah, when it comes to price tags, there's really not much of a difference between the Kosatka or the Agency. Because the Kosatka is a pretty simple property, let's start off with the amenities, ways of making money, and how that business works, and then we'll step over to the Agency, which obviously has a lot more going for it. So the Kosatka has one way of making money, and that is the Cayo Perico heist. Now the Cayo Perico heist is still the fastest way to make money, but there is a big caveat, which is the cooldown. For example, a decently skilled player can complete the Cayo Perico heist with all setups, everything start to finish, in around 40 minutes. And you can do that very comfortably in 40 minutes. You'll make around $1 million, but there is a $100,000 setup fee, so it's more like $900,000 on average you're going to be making. Now, if you do get the pink diamond, you're going to make a lot more, upwards of $1.2 million, but the chances of that is about 20%. So we'll just keep it a crisp, clean $1 million on average every time you complete the Cayo Perico heist. The problem is you're going to have to wait about 2 hours before you can start the heist up again. So there is a very big catch. You're not going to be making any money in that 2 hours if all you own is a business like the Kosatka. And that is the only way that you can make money with your Kosatka. So now that we've broken into that way of making income, let's move over to the Agency and talk about its multiple ways of making money and see if they are better or worse than what you have with the Kosatka. Starting off, let's talk about the highest paying, which is the VIP contract for Dr. Dre. This will pay you a crisp $1 million. There's no setup fee. In fact, you do get paid like $10,000, $20,000 each setup you complete, but we're just gonna say you make $1 million for the entire thing. It's going to take you about an hour and 20 minutes to complete from start to finish if you're decently fast at it, which isn't too bad. It's an hour and 20 minutes for a $1 million payout. Now, again, you are going to have to wait a cooldown before you can start it up, just like the Cayo Perico heist once it's been completed. However, the difference between these two businesses is that the Agency has other ways of making money that you can do while waiting for the cooldown to come back to start up the VIP mission again. For example, you have security contracts. There are 3 that you can choose from. There's a couple different ones that you can get, from rescue operation to recovering valuables, vehicle recovery. Then there's ones where you need to stand your ground and stop a bunch of bikers from destroying product. That one's pretty useless. There's demolition charges, one where you have to blow up a bunch of product. There's a bunch of different ones you can do. The best are definitely recovering valuables, vehicle recovery, and rescue operation. They'll pay you anywhere from $40,000 to $70,000 upon completion, and it's not too bad because they only take about 3 to 5 minutes to do. Then you got a small 2-3 minute cooldown, and then you can start them up again. Not only are you going to make money from completing these security contracts, but even better, you also get a passive income. Every 5 security contracts you complete, you will get $500 in passive income, and it stacks up to $20,000. You will make $20,000 every 48 minutes forever. Just make sure to grab the money out of your safe. It'll stack at $200,000, and if you don't grab it after that, then you're just not going to get any extra money. It's a little annoying. I wish you could just add it right to your bank account, but that's one of the downsides of the business. It's not a downside, but you have to grab it. The final way of making money with the Agency is payphone hits. Now, payphone hits used to be a lot more lucrative. Unfortunately, Rockstar tripled the cooldown. It used to be about 15, 20 minutes, and now it's 45 minutes, which is a little ridiculous in my opinion. playing, you're going to make $85,000 completing a payphone hit, and it's only going to take you about 3 to 5 minutes to do. So usually what I'll end up doing is, while I'm doing the VIP mission for Dr. Dre, I'll do one payphone hit. Then, after completing it, I will do a security contract, and then the payphone hit cooldown should be done. I'll do one payphone hit, and then go back to doing another security contract. So you'll get a crisp $170,000 from payphone hits in about an hour and a half, and then you can add that on to the Dr. Dre $1 million payout, and pair that with your security contracts, and you'll be making a pretty decent chunk of money. In terms of making money, if you are deciding whether you want to get your hands on the Kosatka or the agency as a beginner, I can tell you for a fact that the agency is a better property. All because of that cooldown you have to wait for the Cayo Perico heist. That 2-hour cooldown is just wasting time. You're not going to be making any money unless you have passive businesses, but even then you're not going to be making much. It's always good to have an active business. And the thing about the agency is that not only do you get heist levels of payout with the VIP contract, but when you pair that with the fact that you also have an active way of making money and a passive way of making money, it checks every single box. So I can definitely tell you, as a newer player, it is 100% better to own an agency over a Kosatka. Not only that, but you also get a 20-car garage with your agency. You get the ability to get Tech vehicles, which is absolutely goated. So there are just a lot more benefits and amenities with your agency compared to the Kosatka. Speaking of amenities, let's compare the two. What does the Kosatka have versus what the agency has? Well, let's start off with the Kosatka because there's not much to cover. You get a Sparrow and an Avisa sub, which is pretty useless. So mainly, let's just talk about the Sparrow, which is actually one of my favorite modes of transport in the game. It's a pretty cheap purchase, 1.7 million. I know that sounds like a lot, especially if you're new, but when you compare that to something like the Oppressor Mark II or even the Deluxo, it's fairly inexpensive. The Sparrow has a missile upgrade, which allows you to barrage missiles at your opponents, and it features flares. Plus, it is one of the fastest flying helicopters at a top speed of 168 miles per hour. So it's fast, it's maneuverable, it has missiles and flares, plus you can spawn it in wherever and whenever you want, making it just a super easy mode of transport. So just alone from the Sparrow, I would say the Kosatka is absolute S tier. Making our way to the agency, as I said, it comes with a very solid chunk of garage slots, all included in the business. You don't need to buy a garage separately like office buildings. As well, the business also arrives with a free Enos Jubilee, which is an Tech vehicle, comes with some armor, which is pretty dang sweet. The agency arrives with a free helicopter that you can spawn out of the business. It's not weaponized or anything special, but it's still a free helicopter that you can call whenever you want, which is just a flat dub when you're doing security contracts as a beginner. So, in terms of amenities, I would definitely say that the agency is better. Not only do you get a free helicopter, not only do you get garage slots as a newer player, but you also get free snacks inside of your business and everything else. It's just super nice. Everything is in front of you. It's a nice looking property and it's super easy to access. So, the final verdict of today's video. If you are a newer player and you are deciding whether to get the agency or the Kosatka, I would highly recommend to pick up the agency first. Not only do you get all these bonuses with the property, but it still has a massive chunk of making money. If you are an experienced player, I would recommend to use both the agency and the Kosatka because you're going to be able to make the most money pairing the Cayo Perico heist with the Dr. Dre VIP missions. At the end of the day, hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.